was hardly anything useful in our archives. Just a reference to research on so-called phantoms within the specific range of irradiation. I suggest you speak with Professor Ozersky, the head of Malachite. He's known for his forays into pseudoscience, but he's been studying the zone for a long time. He might have some insights. And Skif, make sure you don't leave without getting some answers from him.
Freeze. This is a secure facility. No rookie stalkers allowed. Limited access, special permit required.
I might be new around here, but I've been in the zone long enough to know that coupons are usually as good as a permit.
Keep it down. You want Ozersky to hear us? All right. I can tell you're not exactly a newbie. Hand me your permit and come on in.
Professor Ozersky says that my commitment to maintaining order stifles the flight of imagination. Well, flights are for airplanes. And in science, order is paramount. That's why I won't tolerate mess. No discounts, no let's make a deal, and certainly no I'll pay you next time. You pay, you get your goods, not the other way around. Here's what we've got.
It's unusual to find a scientist behind a counter, rather than in a lab.
What's so unusual about it? I've got a degree in math. That's why Professor Ozersky assigned me to this post. STC Malachite is like a tumultuous ocean of scientific chaos. But I'm still trying to make a stand against it, even from here. For instance, nobody seems to care that neither Blizzard nor Lefty ever came back from their expeditions. By the way, do you think you could assist me with, helping them?
When does a mutant have fallen?
Maybe I can help, but I need to know more.
Some might see me as a soulless bureaucrat, but I genuinely care about missing people. Even if they went missing for the sake of science. First, there's Blizzard. He's a stalker who's been part of our team for a long time. He went to collect bone samples from bloodsucker victims, and we haven't heard from him since. I'm concerned. Second, Lefty and his group went to take Psi radiation measurements. Shortly afterwards, he sent word they were in trouble. And then, they went dark.
Do you know where I can find Blizzard?
I believe he ventured to the outskirts of the industrial zone. It's a swampy area, a favored habitat for bloodsuckers. I warned him not to go alone, but he was always a bit stubborn.
Where exactly was Lefty headed?
The Yantar area. We had an urgent need to measure the Psi radiation there so we could try to understand it. Some individuals, such as Professor Ozersky, believe that Lefty's group can handle it on their own. But what if they can't? Especially given that I'm the one who sent them to take those measurements. If you find them, but they're already beyond help, try to retrieve the Psi radiation data. It's of the utmost importance.
Fine. I'll do my best.
Excellent. I have forwarded the coordinates to your PDA. I'll be waiting for the good news. Or, well, any news at all.
With some rookies, they've just walked into a bloodsucker nest. Now I know for sure we're screwed.
That's so funny, I forgot
During
to laugh.
bureaucracy, what kind of paper do you want? Professor Ozersky said it's a promising experiment.
Equipment allocation. I do. papers,
This is an
Kuprian.
unsuccessful experiment. I strongly advise seeking immediate medical attention. Our doctor services are available at any time.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Professor Ozersky, the director of STC Malachite. If you intend to remain at the center, please avoid interfering with our work and treat all visitors with courtesy and respect. My colleagues frequently require Stalker assistance to retrieve artifacts or conduct field experiments. Should you prove yourself capable, you may be entrusted with such assignments.
I'm looking for information about the Phantoms. A monolithian called Faust conjured doubles of himself during a fight. I want to know how this is possible.
And I want to never have to hear about this subject again. But I suppose you're luckier than I am. The doubles you witnessed are induced illusions caused by Psi influence within the Tau range. This Faust fellow appears to be employing older Psi consciousness technology. Psi consciousness were the ones who extensively researched induced illusions and their impact on humans. Have you heard about the Wish Granter? That's their handiwork.
I want to know more about induced illusions.
Malachite doesn't have any files on this research, but I know of a place where you might be able to find them. Fortunately, the X network is up and running again. There's an abandoned mirror facility nearby. It was used to study induced illusions until 2008. If you can restart it and reconnect the mirror to Malachite, I could look for the information you need.
What exactly do I need to do?
Two things. Activate the visual projection center and calibrate the communication antenna. Mind you, configuring the antenna might require specific conditions. The older the equipment, the harder it is to set it up properly. I advise you to find an operations manual for the facility's engineering team and follow its guidelines to the letter. Talk to you later.
Howdy, eggheads. Care to tell me where Ozersky is?
Young man, I'd like to ask you.
Nah, don't bother. Just get Ozersky for us, all right?
Tell him we've got an appointment.
Freeze. This is a secure facility. No rookie stalkers allowed. Limited access, special permit required.
Have you heard about what went down at the Duga? I was there.
Yeah, sure. So you're telling me the Monolithians wiped out all the soldiers at the Duga, and you somehow got away without a scratch? Bullshit.
I got lucky. That blind preacher there's almost got me.
Faust? I hear he's calling the shots for the whole monolith now. You must have a lucky charm if you ran into him and made it out alive. All right, you're in. After the Duga, our scientists' jobs will be a walk in the park for you.
When I left Garbage, I was headed for Pripyat, just like everyone else. But then I stopped just shy of it, as you can see. And I think I made the right call. Tech likes peace and quiet, and it's always messy in Pripyat.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Professor Ozersky, the director of STC Malachite. If you intend to remain at the center, please avoid interfering with our work and treat all visitors with courtesy and respect. My colleagues frequently require Stalker assistance to retrieve artifacts or conduct field experiments. Should you prove yourself capable, you may be entrusted with such assignments.
I'm looking for information about the Phantoms. A monolithian called Faust conjured doubles of himself during a fight. I want to know how this is possible.
And I want to never have to hear about this subject again. But I suppose you're luckier than I am. The doubles you witnessed are induced illusions caused by Psi influence within the Tau range. This Faust fellow appears to be employing older sea consciousness technology. Sea consciousness were the ones who extensively researched induced delusions and their impact on humans. Have you heard about the Wish Granter? That's their handiwork.
I want to know more about induced illusions.
I'm not entirely sure we still have any books with enough information here at the center. The S.T.A.L.K.E.R archives would come in handy here.
I got them after the signal. They're saved on this flash drive.
Oh, that makes it so much easier. However, analyzing these archives will require a considerable amount of time, and I take it you need answers as soon as possible. Fortunately, the X network is up and running again. There's an abandoned mirror facility nearby. It was used to study induced illusions until 2008. If you can restart it and reconnect the mirror to Malachite, I could look for the information you need.
What exactly do I need to do?
2 things. Activate the visual projection center and calibrate the communication antenna. Mind you, configuring the antenna might require specific conditions. The older the equipment, the harder it is to set it up properly. I advise you to find an operations manual for the facility's engineering team and follow its guidelines to the letter. Talk to you later.
We've got a real breakthrough here. We've gone from incoherent noises, grainy visuals, and flitting shadows to a repeatable illusion, clear and vivid. We've finally determined the range at which C effects can produce distinct induced illusions. They're still lacking specific details and features for now, but we can already create projections of both physical objects and images born from the human subconscious.
sitrep. Rusty, come in!
I saw Kisyatov yesterday. Dead, ghastly, and decomposing. As he walked around the corner, he passed me by with a blank stare. Didn't even look at me. Then the next morning he strode past me again, alive and well, and greeted me as if nothing had happened. Not a trace of decay. I checked the center. It's powered down. It was off yesterday too. What does this imply? Do these illusions continue after the VPC is shut down? Have we made them too tangible? Or perhaps the issue lies with me, and I'm seeing things that don't exist.
My initial hypothesis is confirmed. The Psi influence within the ranges in which we operate at the center doesn't entirely cease even after a complete shutdown. We'll continue with the experiments on induced illusions, but all participants will receive specialized recovery medications from now on. Moreover, we are developing an emergency security system to shut down the station if the Psi influence within its range exceeds acceptable levels. Professor Ozersky has been transferred to the mainland and won't be participating in further research at this facility. I'm hopeful for his eventual recovery.
of any foreign objects immediately. The launch of the mirror was successful. All research personnel, please proceed to your seats.
Thank you for establishing a secure connection. I was able to retrieve the information you requested. The Controller Project was responsible for the creation of phantoms as part of its research into induced illusions. However, all related data is highly classified and never went public. Fortunately, we have a list of the scientists involved in the project. If any of them are alive and in the zone, you may be able to get your information straight from the horse's mouth, as it were.
Do you know anyone on that list?
Regrettably, no. But I know someone who could assist you. Richter. He used to be a guide, but now his work mostly revolves around finding people. He's just the man you need.
This Richter guy's all over the place. Seems to know everyone in the zone. Where do you know him from?
If not for him, Scar and I wouldn't be working together right now. I was interested in meeting him, and Richter arranged it. I wouldn't recommend someone unless I was certain of their competence. Richter knows his way around the zone. If anyone from this list is still here, he'll track them down for you.
Do you know where I can find Richter?
When he's not busy with his clients, he usually frequents the 100 Rods bar in Rostock. Try looking for him there. You can ask our guide. He'll help you find your way there. Raspy's gone dark. Do we head in, or wait a little longer? Just hold on. We've got a little time left. Why does he always want to play the fucking scouts? S.T.A.L.K.E.R warned us against going in alone. Once he gets back, we're gonna remind him about how the customer's always right.
Cover me!
Hey, Stalker! I need a hand! I can't do this alone!
Get off me.
I'm sorry, bud.
Hey, Stalker, get over here. I owe you one. You got me out of a jam, Stalker. Thanks for that. I was trying to slip past without disturbing this beautiful creature. But it didn't work out. It's a damn shame.
What, are you feeling Sorry for this monster.
What did it do wrong? It's a predator. It hunts to survive, builds its own nest, protects it if it has to. But when it comes to monsters, humans are the worst monsters out there.
Why did you come here? This place is a death trap.
I had my reasons.
Sweep the area. He's close.
Seems to be the problem.
The mutants are less likely to harass your patients now.
Thank you. At last, I'll have more time for my research.
Can anybody hear me? We're surrounded. Need help. Repeat. We need help. We've got wounded. Moving into position. Cover me. Moving into position. Cover me.
Watch your back, Lona! There's a bloodsucker nearby! You took care of the freak? Good. Now, lend me a hand. Nicely done, Stalker. Way to ice that freak. You don't happen to have a medkit, do you?
Here you go.
Thanks for the assistance. The coupons are already on your PDA. I don't like owing favors.
What happened here?
Some Freedom guys hit me up for a job. They didn't bother to scope out the place beforehand, so they're now a bloodsucker buffet. Man, the level of stupidity I've got to deal with.
Based on the Freedom members' messages, they hired you to take out loners, right?
Yeah, they did. You gonna lecture me or something?
I've got another idea. You pay me, and I won't spill the beans to Sidorovich about your little plan to off his guys.
You son of a bitch! Fine. Have it your way. But mark my words, every mercenary out there is gonna hear about this.
Here's the Polovin. No clinking.
You want to chat?
He seemed like a decent...
I need to find some people.
We're just having a...
Ozersky mentioned you might be able to help me with that.
You're making some friends, I see. Ozersky is a man with a heart of gold. When he's not being pain in the ass, anyway.
You seem pretty popular yourself. Are you some kind of recruiter? Bringing folks to Strider, mingling with scientists, cozying up to S.T.A.L.K.E.R. And you keep popping up wherever I go, too.
Must be the zone's will. Nah, there's a plenty of recruiters here without me. By the way, there's that stalker who showed up after the signal, S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Ever heard of him? He's a legend around here. I hear he's putting together a new crew. He doesn't like what's going on in the zone and he wants to shake things up.
What happened to his old crew?
I could tell you they found lots of rare artifacts, left for the mainland, and lived happily ever after. But in reality, not everyone made it back from their trip to the monolith.
What's S.T.A.L.K.E.R up to? What's his plan?
That's something you gotta ask the man himself. And if he doesn't trust you enough, you'll never find out. S.T.A.L.K.E.R is the type who keeps his plans to himself.
How can I find this S.T.A.L.K.E.R guy?
Nah. I might have said too much already. Either the zone's gonna help you, or S.T.A.L.K.E.R will find you himself. But I don't think you two would hit it off right now. As long as you and S.T.A.L.K.E.R keep looking for the Shining Zone, you better stay away from S.T.A.L.K.E.R. He doesn't trust or cooperate with anyone. Can you really blame him?
Piss off, the warden says.
I found folks in the zone I can trust. S.T.A.L.K.E.R just needs to try harder. Speaking of which, do you know anyone on this list?
I know one of them, Dvupalov. He's a real grump when he's sober, which, thankfully, isn't often. He's usually holed up in his old hideout and doesn't entertain visitors. If you want to talk to him, you'll need to bring him a collar from a mutant. He used to do some research with the collars, and now he just collects them. Talk about sentimental.
Is this the type of collar Dvupalov collects?
Wow! You've certainly been around the zone if you've managed to find one. You're shaping up to be quite a stalker. Now that you have the collar, you're good to head to Dvupalov's hideout. I'll send you the coordinates. If he asks you for a password, the answer is leash. Remember, if the professor offers you a drink, don't turn it down. It'll make the conversation smoother.
Hey, why the long face?
But don't try to outdrink him either. You won't stand a chance.
Scientist starts working at S.T.A.L.K.E.R. He gets assigned to a lab
See ya.
to study me.
Looking for some equipment, are you?
Blizzard was on the verge of being mauled by a bloodsucker, so I had to step in. Stalker's alive and well. I believe he'll be in touch soon.
That's fantastic news. I hope he makes it to Malachite safely. The samples he was after will aid us in developing new anticoagulants. Thank you for your valuable contribution to science.
Lefty and his group turned into zombies, so I had to put them down. Here's your Psi radiation measurements.
I warned them. I told them that Lefty and his men required assistance, but all I got was, calm down, they can handle it, just focus on your duties. But if the data has been recovered, at least Lefty's sacrifice wasn't in vain. Thank you for bringing it here. Well, I don't have any other work for you.
Victoria, come in. Can you hear me? The data from the field lab at the vehicle station. Ever since the emission, there are anomalies all over the place. I need help.
Skif, please hold on. I know you've already done a great deal, but Trachuk wouldn't bother me without good reason. I'm deeply concerned about him. Something must have gone awry during his research. I'm not entirely sure what Trachuk was working on, but he once hinted that it could revolutionize life in the zone. Help him, please.
All right. I'll get to the bottom of this.
I don't know what kind of trouble Trachuk is in, but it sounds pretty serious. Be careful out there.
You're Skif, right? Vicky, Professor Doroshin said you would come. I really appreciate your help. So I left the flash drive in the field lab on the second floor of the vehicle station. I had to hide from an emission. When I came back, the station was full of anomalies. That drive contains priceless data. It took months to gather it all. I tried to get it myself and nearly died. I need the help of a skilled stalker. Will you do it?
Okay. Doesn't sound too hard. You wait here, I'll bring you your flash drive.
Thank you. Vicky went to so much trouble procuring the necessary equipment for our observations.
Trachuk, this is Trickster. Come in. I'm at the meeting point, waiting for you with the data. Watch out for the ward. They're patrolling the area.
Careful, Stalker. Trachuk told us everything. We know you have the flash drive. Give it to us, and you're free to go.
No! They'll steal my work! Skif, don't do it!
So, you're Skif. I've heard of you. I'm sure we can find a compromise. Hand over the flash drive.
Take it, soldier. I don't want any trouble.
Smart move, Stalker. You can go. We'll wait here while they sort it out at HQ, Fuyat. Keep your head on a swivel.
Yes, sir.
You've ruined everything. They'll slash our budget now. Our work will be classified and transferred to S.T.A.L.K.E.R. I'll tell Victoria what kind of a man she trusted.
Hello. Look.
Trachuk needed to get his flash drive from the vehicle station after it got hit by anomalies. The moment I found the data, the ward arrived. I had to hand it over to them, along with Trachuk himself.
What? How could you? He was our employee and the research was ours. This data belongs to Malachite. You've made a grave mistake, Stalker. Hello. Here's what we've got.